What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Brokers TCG. Today we have Bloomlordmon versus the Royal Knight. So let's get right into it. My opponent's going to go ahead and hatch the King Drazel, and then by effect throw another King Drazel under it, and then play out the Dynasmon for a play cost of 5, searching the top 4, adding the All-Force Feedramon and a Omnimon to hand, trashing the rest. I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn, hatch the Kokomon, and then Digivolve the Kokomon into a Terriermon, and from there go ahead and play out the Red Vegemon from hand for a play cost of 3, and then Digivolve into the Agitarmon for a cost of 3, putting my opponent to 1 memory. He's going to go ahead and draw, put a King Drazel under the King Drazel in raising, and then throw the Dynasmon under the Digivolution sources, and then put me back to 5 memory by playing a Craniumon. Then from there I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn, bring the Terriermon out of raising, Digivolve the Terriermon into a Sunflowmon, and then from there I'm going to go ahead and use the Agitarmon's effect to suspend itself to play out a Palmon for free. The Palmon's going to search the top 4 cards of my deck, and unfortunately I can only add the Hydramon, sending all of the other cards to the bottom of my deck. And from here, so I'm going to go ahead and use the Sunflowmon effect to Digivolve into a Lilamon for a cost of 1, and then the Lilamon's going to play out a Yoshino for free. And then there I'm going to use Hidden Potential Discovered to Digivolve my Agitarmon into a Hydramon. I would suspend the Craniumon, but unfortunately he is protected by his effects. So I'm going to Digivolve the Lilamon into a Bloomlordmon for a cost of 4. The Yoshino is going to go ahead and gain me 1 memory, and also the Sunflowmon does reduce the Digivolution by 1, and then Bloomlord's going to gain me 3 memory by his effect. And so from there I'm going to swing with the Bloomlord for 2 security checks. And then checking a Omecamon and a Kentorsmon, I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve the Palmon into a Red Vegemon for a cost of 1, and then Digivolve the Red Vegemon into an Agitarmon, putting my opponent back to 1 memory again. From there he's going to go ahead and absorb the last King Drazel as well as the Craniumon, and then play out a Omnimon, setting me to 4 memory and deleting my Bloomlordmon on the field. So I'm going to go ahead and unsuspend all of my Digimon and draw for turn, hatch my Kokomon, and then Digivolve the Kokomon into the other Terriermon. And then from there I'm going to go ahead and use the Agitarmon effect to suspend itself and play a Pomamon. And then the Agitarmon is going to gain me a memory under the Hydramon. I'm then going to go ahead and Digivolve the Pomamon into a Sunflowmon, and then the Yoshino is going to gain me a memory. And from there, I can go ahead and use the Sunflowmon effect of when Digivolving, play out another Sunflowmon, and then that Sunflowmon is going to allow me to Digivolve into a Lilamon for a Digivolution cost of 1. And if I had another Yoshino, I'd be able to play it out for free. But then I decided to go into a Quartzmon, and it is way too early to go into a Quartzmon, so that is not necessarily a misplay, but definitely not the best use of resources there. My opponent's going to go ahead and play a Leopardmon from hand, and from there play a All-Force, reducing the cost by 4, putting me to 7 memory. The Quartzmon's going to have its sources stripped, and the Quartzmon's going to be sent back to hand due to the All-Force effects. Now from there I'm going to go ahead and unsuspend everything and draw for turn. I'm going to bring the Terriermon out of raising, Digivolve the Terriermon into a Sunflowmon, and then using its effect I'm going to go ahead and play out a Pomamon for free, and then the Agitarmon is also going to use the effect to suspend the Pomamon, play out a Palmon for free as well. The Palmon's going to reveal, or actually the Pomamon is going to go ahead and suspend the All-Force Feedramon, and then the Palmon's going to search the top 4 cards of my deck. And there I see the Bloomlord, so I go ahead and add it to hand. And I can also go ahead and add the Lilamon to hand, putting the rest at the bottom of my deck. And I'm then going to go ahead and use the Sunflowmon effect to Digivolve that same Sunflowmon into a Lilamon for a Digivolution cost of 1. Then the Yoshino is going to gain me memory, and then the Sunflowmon in the Heritable and the Kokomon is going to gain extra draws. I'm going to use the 70 Centi to suspend the Palmon, to suspend the Leopardmon, and then I'm going to Digivolve into the Bloomlordmon, suspending itself, then gaining 5 memory to unsuspend itself, and I'm going to go ahead and swing from there for the rest of his security checking nothing, and then finishing off game 1 with ARCHETYPE. So on to game 2. On to game 2, my opponent's going to go ahead and hatch the King Drazel, throw a King Drazel under, and then play a Magnamon for 2. I'm going to hatch the Kokomon, Digivolve the Kokomon into a Lalamon, and then Digivolve the Lalamon into a Sunflowmon. Then from there, I'm going to Digivolve the Sunflowmon into a ARCHETYPE, going all the way up into that stack. My opponent's going to go ahead and put a King Drazel into the breeding under the other King Drazel, throw the Magnamon under, and then play a Omegamon on play, drawing 1. ARCHETYPE is going to go ahead and suspend himself to play the Red Vegemon for free. And then also from there, the Kokomon is going to draw a card since I was suspending the ARCHETYPE. I'm going to Digivolve into the Lilamon, playing a Yoshino for free. My opponent's going to go ahead and draw for turn and absorb the last King Drazel. He's going to swing with the Omegamon, not dying, and then playing a Jesmon, which is going to delete the ARCHETYPE on my side, really setting me back, really slowing me down. I'm going to go ahead and draw for turn, hatch the Kokomon, and then Digivolve the Kokomon into a Pomamon. And from there, to get some extra searching, I'm going to go ahead and use the green memory boost, revealing the top 4 cards of my deck, and then adding 1 green card. I'm going to add the Palmon, sending the rest at the bottom of the deck in any order. And from there, I'm going to Digivolve the Lilamon into the Bloomlordmon, and then the Yoshino is going to gain me a memory, and I'm going to go ahead and not suspend the Bloomlordmon, sending my opponent to 3 memory. He's going to go ahead and swing with the Omegamon, hitting the Quartzmon, and finally dying, being able to throw a Lord Knightmon on the bottom of the King Drazel's sources, and then also playing the Royal Knight option card, throwing a Dynasmon under the sources as well. He's going to go ahead and play the Ulforce, which is going to strip the Bloomlord Digivolution cards and send the Bloomlord back to my hand. I'm going to bring the Pomamon out of raising, Digivolve the Pomamon into a Red Vegemon for a Digivolution cost of 1, then use the Green Member Boost delay effect to gain 2 memory, and then play the Palmon for 3, revealing the top 4 cards of my deck. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and add the Lalamon, sending the rest of the bottom of my deck. I'm going to go ahead and Digivolve the Red Vegemon into Blossomon using Digisorption. Then Kokomon, since I suspend one of my other Digimon, I'm going to draw, and then the Yoshino is going to gain me an extra memory. I'm going to use the Hidden Potential Discovered to reduce the Digivolution cost of my next Digivolution by 5, Digivolving into Bloomlordmon for free, and then gaining the 2 memory from his own effect. And I'm going to Digivolve the Palmon into a Sunflowmon. I'm not going to suspend the Bloomlord to get another body on the field, so I'm just going to Digivolve for 2, and then swing with the Bloomlord for 2 security checks, swinging over both security Digimon. I'm going to play a Lalamon for a cost of 3, putting my opponent to 1, adding a Sunflowmon to hand, and now passing it over to my opponent's turn. He's going to draw for turn, absorb the Ulforce, and then he's going to go ahead and play out the Omnimon from his hand, which is going to trash all of the King Drazels and then play out every single one of the Royal Knights he had in the in the Digivolution sources. And so from there, he's going to go ahead and use the Dynasmon to search the top 4, adding a Gallantmon and a Jesmon, trashing the rest. Then he's going to use the Lord Knightmon effect to add a Craniumon back to his hand. And then using the Ulforce Featuremon, he's going to strip the sources of my Bloomlordmon. And then using the Jesmon effect, he's going to go ahead and delete all of my Digimon, since the total DP of all my Digimon add up to 16,000 DP. So from there, Yoshino is going to go ahead and set me to 3 memory. I'm going to go ahead and hatch into a Kokomon, Digivolve the Kokomon into a Pomamon. Then I'm going to go ahead and hard play a Red Vegemon from hand for a play cost of 3. Then Digivolving into a Argomon. I do make a little bit of a misplay. The Argomon is a mutant, not a vegetation, so the Yoshino should not gain me a memory. Then I Digivolve into the Sunflowmon for a cost of 1. There really wasn't anything I could do to stop him, so from there he's going to go ahead and finish out the game by swinging, hitting a Summon Descenti, so I do suspend one of his Digimon, but he still has enough bodies to finish out the rest of my security. So that is going to finish game 2. Now on to game 3. I'm going to go ahead and hatch the Kokomon. And from there, I'm going to play out the Red Vegiemon, the best card of my deck. He's going to go ahead and hatch a King Drazel, throwing the other King Drazel out. Then playing a Dynasmon, putting me to 2 memory, searching the top 4, adding a Genkumon and the Kentaurousmon to hand, trashing the rest. I'm going to go ahead and draw, and since I have the greatest hand in all of history, I'm going to go ahead and decide to swing with the Red Vegiemon, hitting a Genkumon and then dying, then playing another Red Vegiemon. Like I said, the greatest Digimon to ever exist. He's going to go ahead and absorb another King Drazel as well as the Dynasmon, and then play out the Magnamon for free and an Omegamon, putting me to 3 memory. I'm going to go ahead and finally Digivolve into the very first rookie I see, seeing my very last Red Vegiemon, my favorite Red Vegiemon. Unfortunately, doing another misplay. I did not pay the cost for the Digivolution, but I am going to use Somebody Senti to suspend the Omegamon because I really don't like him. I don't like Omegamon, I'm not going to lie. So I'm going to play out the Sunflowmon, he's going to absorb the Magnamon, play out a Leopardmon, then the Leopardmon's going to allow him to play the Jesmon, deleting my field. Feels bad, but you know what? The last 3 brain cells I had decided to play the Quartzmon, setting him to 9 memory with an absolute play of the game. He's going to go ahead and absorb the Royal Knights, and from there, play an Omnimon to delete the Quartzmon, and then play a Magnamon, putting me to 1 memory. I'm going to go ahead and play the Mimi, since there really isn't much else I can do. He's going to go ahead and finally unsuspend the Omegamon and absorb the other Royal Knights. Now at this point, I'm in a great position, so he goes and swings with the Omegamon, not dying. He's going to go ahead and play the Omnimon, like that does anything, and play out every single one of the Royal Knights under the King Drazel. And from there, he's going to go ahead and search the top 4 using Dynasmon's effect, finding a Lord Knightmon and a Kentaurousmon, trashing the rest. And then, you know, there really isn't much else he can do, so he's going to go ahead and swing with the Omnimon, swing with the other Omnimon, swing with the Dynasmon, then swing with the Jesmon, and then finally finishing out the game with the Magnamon. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one.
Yeah, he doesn't unsuspend. I mean, for 3?
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
This has to be one of the worst games.
That's
oh my
so
god.
bad.